What's up with you beautiful people, man? Welcome back to another video. So, man, what I need to start doing from now on is I need to start, as soon as I have an idea of a conversation, I need to just come turn the camera on and opposed to talking to myself, talk to you guys, which in terms is still talking to myself, I guess, technically, because you guys aren't here with me live, you know what I mean? But shout out to you if you're on this video, man. So what we're going to talk about is I was having the thought of, so we're gonna correlate. We're gonna talk about weak-minded people. That's what we're gonna talk about, right? We're gonna talk about people who don't have an appetite for disaster. So I was watching the movie, right? And it was a girl who was attempting to do something that was out this world. And everybody was telling her she can't do it. So she kind of started to internalize it and start thinking to herself, like, man, are they right? Can I actually do this? And her mom was just telling her that in times of chaos and hard times, that's when a person's true character is exposed. That's when you see who that person actually is, right? So prime example, we're gonna take my situation. So, I talk from experience, like I say. So a couple months ago, I was in a relationship. And in this relationship, if you've seen my previous videos, you already know I said this. This was a person that I was expecting to spend the rest of my life with. This was a person that I was thinking that we was going to be married. We was going to have kids. We was going to move in, get us a house. We talked about, how we were going to, discipline our kids. We talked about how we wasn't going to just give our kids things. They was going to have to actually work for those things. So it's like we're actually shaping a future in a sense. Just for as soon as some chaos happened, she abandoned. She ran. She tucked her tail and she went ghost, right? So my thing is this, right? In life. It's unrealistic for you, me, the person to the left of you, the right of you, the back of you, or possibly the top of you. It's impossible to think that you're going to get anything worth having in this life and it's going to be smooth as a knife going through hot butter. It's impossible. You have to prepare for a fight. So regardless, fighters aren't just professional fighters who fight. It ain't just Floyd, Tank, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Khabib, Justin Gaethje. It's not just those people. They're fighters, but we're all fighters of life. If you were fighting to survive cancer, you're fighting. If you're fighting a battle in addiction, you're fighting. If you're fighting to get this business jump started from the ground on up, like what I'm doing with YouTube, you're fighting. If you're fighting your desire to not cheat on your partner, you're fighting. If you're fighting the desire to walk away from your partner just because times are getting hard, you're fighting. So you're gonna fight regardless. So don't pick and choose. You know what I mean? Like with street talk, right? When we say, if you in the streets or if you claim to be a tough guy, right? We're gonna say it like this, right? You can't be a tough guy when you pick and choose your battles. You can't be tough with a lesser threat, but then when you run up on a guy that you feel is a threat, now you want to be respectful and mild manner. That ain't the way it go. You treat this dude just like you treat this dude. You see what I'm saying? You don't pick and choose, right? So with my girl, she was mentally weak. I'm talking about horribly weak mentally, actually. Like it's not even funny. You know what I mean? And if you're watching this video, man, I'm sorry, it is what it is. You done told me that too, right? I ain't gonna say no names, but you done told me that too. So how do you develop mental toughness? By going through things, right? So if I'm a football player, right, and I'm in a game, I'm a quarterback, we down 21-0, and you looking at me, and everybody's saying, like, how is this dude just looking like, he's not down by 21-0, but you don't understand the work I put in off season, the way I push myself, when I make myself do things when I'm tired, when I make myself do things that I don't want to do. That's mental construction. So when you're going through practices, you know how many times we was in practice and coach made us start off coming from 21-0? So everything that I went through, it prepared me for this. So when I'm in game time, I'm focused in, I'm locked in. Everything outside of this don't matter because this is what I'm built for. This is what I prepare for. So my thing is this to my girl, my ex. So if you want to gain mental toughness, obviously I never heard her say she wanted to gain it. But if you want to gain mental toughness, right, you don't run from obstacles. You don't run back home to your parents just because it's safe and it's comfortable. So you run from an uncomfortable situation to go to a comfortable situation. Whether you going back home to your parents, And here's the thing, and not just with her, but for anybody who's saying, oh, I got to go to this place to get to start something. Check this out, right? So with her and with those people, you do realize that the only thing that changed was the geographical situation. Only thing that changed. Only thing that changed was you going from this state to this state. The person you were here is the same person you were here, because you're not doing mental and spiritual reconstructing and trying to take what was weak and make it strong. So like how they say, it's easier to build strong men and women than it is to rebuild, to repair broken men and women. So with your mentality at your age, at 22 years old, you're probably gonna be doing the same thing you was doing at 32. Because had you stayed here and figured it out and tried it and gave it your all and you came up short, then guess what? Within that process, you still gain some knowledge. So now when you go back home to mommy, daddy, it's like you going back home with a plan now because I went through something there. But if I run from this, how do I ever get here? Because the same problems are gonna come here. The same problems of you're not having a success here. Your business ain't picking up fast enough here. The same thing is going to happen no matter where you go. Just because you go to a different state, that don't mean that everybody that's in that same field with you going to spread out and say, come on in, you can come ahead of us. You got a motherfucker right now that's probably been doing what they've been doing for 10 years straight. And they went through every roadblock it was. And you've been raised up in a 2-parent household, spoiled, probably given most of everything that you wanted. How can you compete with that? You have no fortitude with struggle. You don't understand what that's like. You can't even fathom what that's like, because as soon as it get rough, you tall ass. You tuck your tail, you run. You see what I'm saying? So opposed to you living this, for we walk by faith, not by sight, or you live into this, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. But opposed to you living by this, you decide to go comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So you decide to not go through anything. This is what I'm gonna tell us as people, right? If you want to be married, if you want to be the greatest, whatever it is you do profession-wise, if you want to be a great father, a great mother, a great leader, a great member of a community, you're going to go through something. In order to have something that's worth having, it's not gonna come easy. So if I say I want to be the greatest motivational speaker in the world, I got to be working my butt off. I got to work my butt off because I'm at the bottom having to climb up. The guys at the top don't have to do a lot of work because their foundation is built. I'm trying to build my foundation. I can't stand on my own against these guys because they got too many years over me. You see what I'm saying? So I got to work twice as hard to even get within a foot of where they're at, because I got to hope that they're not working 2 times harder than me. And as I go up, they go up. As I go up, they go up. And I'll never catch them. So now I got to work 4 times as hard just to get even with y'all. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to have to go through something. Whether you're in a marriage for 30 years, do you think all 30 years was good? Matter of fact, you might have more bad years than you had good years. You might have more bad years than you had good years. But guess what? It don't mean walk away because things are tough. Guess what? It don't mean walk away because you guys aren't agreeing on something. Guess what? It don't mean walk away when y'all are uncertain about what neither one of y'all want to do. You see what I'm saying? I call bull crap on stuff where it's like, okay, well, I need to focus on myself. So you mean to tell me all these people who did things, that did great things, Martin Luther King, these guys didn't have a woman, a wife, a girlfriend? You know, even the girls that do great things, they didn't have a boyfriend, a husband. So it's bull crap. It's excuses to avoid having to go through hard times. Nothing comes easy in this world, bro. Nothing comes easy. You have to endure things. Like I say, I always tell you guys, I'm talking with y'all, not to y'all. You know what I mean? When I say talking to y'all, I'm not standing on the podium and speaking and y'all looking at me as if I'm y'all leader. I'm talking to y'all as a person who's going through life just like y'all going through it, and who's trying to soak up as much knowledge that he can to put him in a better future, in turns put his family whenever he actually has a chance to put one, to be a great leader in his house. You see what I'm saying? So I do it too. I say I want this with YouTube, but I don't stay consistent with it. I say I want this with YouTube, but as soon as I'm not getting the views that I feel like I deserve, I want to stop. I want to quit. I want to look at these other YouTubers I see that's doing content, and I'm looking like, man, they thumbnails ain't as good as mine. They titles ain't as good as mine. Is YouTube out against me? Nah. Look at how many videos this dude said. This dude channel got 3,000.6 videos. Your channel has 20 videos. How are you even able to get mad at that when you have not put in the work that this guy has put in? You haven't done a little of what he has done, but you want those results. You see these couples, the couples out in public, and you be like, that's gold, I want that. Do you know what they probably going through, or what they done went through, or what they're about to go through, and that's gonna test their relationship? You see what I'm saying? Like, do you understand the things that goes on behind closed doors? You don't understand that. It's a dark side, like I always tell people, it's a dark side to success. You know what I mean? I'm not saying no Illuminati bullcrap. I'm just talking about sacrifice. And I'm talking about having to put aside other things to make this an actual possibility. You see what I'm saying? Having to put away your fear of commitment, having to put away your fear of being hurt, having to put away your fear of, stepping out of your comfort zone. Those are the ugly sides to success that most people will never experience success because they don't want to do all of the above. Prime example, right? So I got people in my job, right? So you'll have people who will be crying and complaining about pay, and they're at a part-time position, or they just at a regular full-time position. So I tell them, well, try moving up. And they say, oh, I don't want to give up my schedule or the hours I'm working. So I say, you don't want no money then. So I don't want to hear you complain about nothing, because when you have a solution, just because it's not comfortable and it's not beneficial to you, you don't want to do it now. When anything that can take you to the next level should be that should be important to you. Anything that can help you advance and that's uncomfortable, that should be important, because that's what's going to decide how life is for you and how successful you are in life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if some of you guys are rap fans, right? So it's a song called New York that by Ja Rule. He had Fat Joe and Jadakiss in there. And Jadakiss said in that song, which I ain't gonna say it, he was like, life is a bee. Depending on how you treat her, you might get rich. That's a powerful line for me. Some of y'all might be like, man, that's some immature. No, that's a powerful line for me. Because depending on how you treat your woman determines if you're gonna have a wife. So if you're cheating on your woman, you're beating on your woman, you're lying to your woman, or you just don't trust your woman, you'll never have it. So it's the same thing in life. If you're cutting corners, trying to cheat, trying to ease your way up to the top, you'll never be on it. You'll never get there. But if you say, you know what, I'm gonna strap my boots up, my shoes up, and I'm gonna tighten my belt up, I'm gonna tuck that shirt in, and I'm gonna brace, and I'm just gonna go to war, then you'll get to where you want to be at. But all this crying, all these making up excuses, all this running from problems, running because things are hard, running because things are uncomfortable, running because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you haven't even stepped a foot in it, 2 feet in it, and you can't see, but you want to run from it. Who knows? You might not even got to go to the end of the tunnel to get to that light. You might just only got to take that third step, and bam, there you go. You're running from it now. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this same thing, what I would say with inspiring YouTubers, right? I'm talking with you guys, right? When we post these videos and we putting time into them, effort, and we being consistent for, I want to say, a month, right? And we get discouraged because things aren't working the way we want them to work. Now we want to say, forget it. We want to say YouTube is shadow banning us for whatever reason, like that YouTube needs to shadow ban a person who rarely uploads. So we start getting discouraged, right? So you have to learn how to count the wins and the losses, right? So a win doesn't always have to emulate views and subscribers. A win can emulate where you were from your first video to where you're at with your 100th video. So look at the gap you've had from here to here. So look at the improvement you've made at titles, thumbnails, optimizing your description, optimizing your tags, understanding keywords, understanding the right promotional routes to take. So once that one video do what you needed to do, so if your 101 video is a video that blows you up, guess what? it's going to be a snowball effect. So from that 101 view, it's going to take you to 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 90. And it's just going to keep going. So you focus so much on the wins, which was bettering your content, upgrading your qualities of your camera, upgrading the conversations that you have, and upgrading everything that you can. So now they got substance. And they can say, man, this dude been doing this for how long? Man, where have I been there? You see what I'm saying? But it's what you got to conduct. It's that process. You can't skip it. You have to go. I don't know if it's any sports people watching this video, right? So whenever we would do training, let's just say we all do training sports, right? The coaches would always tell us, go through the line. Don't halfway touch the line. Don't, get maybe an inch from the line. No, go through it. Because you're not cheating nobody but yourself. You're not cheating me. You're cheating yourself. That's all you're doing. Because me as a coach, if I see that you don't even have the wherewithal to go through the drill and take it serious, you're not going to touch the field, court, etc. So you're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. Now, when I see that you have that tenacity to keep going regardless of how tired you are, that right there alone will get you in a position to be able to play or potentially start. But it's that grimy, hard, gritty, hard work you got to do consistently, and not seeing any major change, any major progression. It almost feel like you're damn near doing it for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And that's what comes with it. So just to go back to that, what I was saying in the beginning of the video is just this generation of weak-minded people, and I'm included in that with you guys. It ain't just me. It ain't just you guys. It's me too. Everything that I say in these videos, it's me too. The lack of work ethic at times, it's me too. The lack of belief in self, it's me too. The lack of consistency, it's me too. The lack of wanting to run away from something because it's hard, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, it's me too. But we have to get to a point to where we can work past just the surface and actually go down beneath and see how far we actually can go with whatever it is we do. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you have to program your mind and say, you know what? Life is going to be hard regardless. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm miserable. Life is going to be the same regardless whether I'm having success what I'm doing or whether I'm failing at what I'm doing. But that don't take away from the mission. And the mission is doing. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be prepared and you have to be war ready. You have to be prepared at all times because you never know which angle life is going to hit you from. They might hit you with a straight jab from the first time. They might switch it over, hit you with a hook. They might switch it over, come up with an uppercut, come up with a hook, throw a jab, hook. So it's a lot of things that life is going to hit you with. So you got to be here with it. You got to be here, parrying. If you want to floor it, chuck that chin behind that shoulder. Then they come over here, catch it right there. You see what I'm saying? You have to be prepared to make those adjustments because life is going to test you. You see what I'm saying? Life is going to test you. So we have to get better, guys. We have to get stronger mentally. We have to get stronger physically. We have to get stronger spiritually because that's going to take us to the next level. But that is it for this video, man. I just wanted to kind of hop on there. This was something that was just on my mind. I was like, man, I got to share this with the people because somebody somewhere else in Alaska, Virginia, California, New York might be thinking this, but they just don't know how to articulate it together. You see what I'm saying? So like I say, iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. So that's what this channel is for. Like I always tell y'all, I don't talk to y'all, I talk with y'all because I'm on the same level. We're all equal in God's eyes. Shout out to my man at work where he said it's true though. We all equal in God's eyes. No matter how successful I am, no matter how successful you are, no matter how tall I am, no matter how tall you are, no matter how good looking I am, no matter how good looking you are, we all are the same. So we all are humans and we all possess the capability of doing something when we focus on it and we put our mind to it. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man.